Oh, your dad's calling me back.
Oh. Well, if any of that makes it in the episode,
I
we'll see.
desperately hope it does. Hi, Allie. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Shannon. Shannon, how are you?
I'm feeling conflicted.
Oh,
Slightly confused. So I just have to follow up with you guys. I told my dad about the little bit we talked about, I think maybe 2 episodes ago. If pinned to a wall, would we choose to follow the Rangers or the Flyers during the playoffs? Like,
Yes.
who you would root for.
And you and Sarah both said the Rangers.
Yeah.
Traitor behavior.
Uh-huh.
I'm not happy about it, but
I picked
So-
the Flyers.
this is like back against a wall, like
Right.
last resort.
Last resort. And so I told my dad the Rangers.
Mhm.
And he freaked out.
As he should.
Oh, no.
He was,
Yeah.
he said to me, he's like, did you say that on the podcast? You have to be careful. You can't tell people that.
It's
you
true.
can't let people know that.
Your dad is
So-
correct.
Yeah. No, it's blasphemy, but
It is. I didn't realize how intense.
Your dad and I are on the same wavelength here.
I think you are.
But I told him, I'm like, but the Flyers fans keyed your car.
Yeah.
So that's like what swayed me. So I made a new decision.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wait, what did your dad say? Like, which team would he pick if he had no choice?
He didn't give me an answer.
Oh, hold on. I'll text him.
But I
He's
know
just
it's
choosing to die.
Please text
instead.
him. You could just call
choosing
him.
to die. Okay.
We'll just phone him in.
Hold on. I'm going to call your dad. Let's see if he answers. Okay, I'm calling him. It's ringing.
Hello.
Hi.
What's going on?
So we're recording our podcast,
Okay.
and Shannon brought it to my attention that you told her, and I agree with you, that she is blasphemous for saying that she would root for the Rangers if given no other choice.
Yes.
Between the Rangers and the
Yes.
Flyers.
Yeah, I picked between the Rangers and the Flyers. I picked the Flyers.
Oh Lord, what is?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want to root.
You can't root for the Flyers ever. Ever.
See?
If they were the last hockey team on earth, you can't root for them.
See? So wait, if you were like, if someone like put you to a wall and held a gun to your head and was like, you need to root for either the Flyers or the Rangers, they're the only hockey teams left, who are you rooting for?
Oh, I would have to root for the Rangers if there was a gun to my head.
See?
Dad, I don't know if you can
But,
hear me.
but if somebody put a gun to my head and said that I had to root for Philadelphia, I guess I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't even bring the Flyers up. That's like, oh my God, that's just, don't even talk about them.
Yeah, okay.
You can never root for the Flyers,
Well, stop.
and you can never root for Pittsburgh.
Oh, I didn't know this one.
I didn't know that about Pittsburgh. Okay.
Oh no. Listen, Devils. It's just Devils, and you just have to suck it up.
Okay.
When the Devils, when they do bad, you just go next year.
Okay. That clarifies a lot of things for me. Thanks, Dad.
I'm sure Sarah. I mean, her dad being a Rangers fan, I mean, she wouldn't
Yeah.
dare root for the Rangers, would she?
I would have to.
You would have to, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like this as an option for myself, but again,
maybe
like you
just to
said,
stay
you
on
can't
good
root
relations
for
with your
the
dad.
Flyers ever.
No Flyers and no Pittsburgh, please.
Okay. Got it.
Ladies, please. Don't even put that in your podcast. Don't even mention them in the podcast.
Okay.
Unless the Devils beat them.
All right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for clarifying.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Wow, what a turn of events.
So
Retract that statement again.
I'm going to retract my retracted statement. and say, yes, I guess I would still pick the Rangers over
Wow.
Gun to my head.
Wow.
in this worst case scenario.
Well, I guess we're lucky that we live in this scenario where the Devils have not disappeared off the face of the earth and we get to keep rooting for them.
Oh, yeah. This is Hot Girls Hockey, born in Jersey, our weekly opinions on the Devils. No facts, just analyzing by vibes. We have a lot to get to.
We do.
Yeah.
So, Allie, can you start us off with our red carpet report of the week?
I sure can.
I saw these photos. Sorry. I'm fucking excited.
Well, what's funny is, speaking of your dad, we were talking this weekend after your party, and he was saying how this is his favorite segment, which I just did not expect. And I now I'm worried that I have to disappoint him because I have a little bit of a once again, a non-traditional red carpet report. So I was like, I got to bring it back, just give you like a best and a worst. But here's the problem. It's that time of the year where it's the middle of winter. It's cold and dark out, and we're starting to see that reflected in the players' outfits because the boys have come out in true prep fashion in the black wool pea coat with the basic white button down and a Patagonia zip combo.
Yeah.
You've got Dawson Mercer wearing this. You've got Nico wearing this. You've got Nate Bastian wearing this.
They must have gone shopping together.
This is just like this is the basic boy outfit in winter. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love a preppy look. It's finance bro energy.
It is.
But I can't say anything about that. It's a fine look. They all look exactly the same.
It's generic.
If I had to give a worst dress this week, truthfully, the Bruins game. Okay, so my best and worst are both from here. I don't love this blue suit that Timo is wearing, but I don't think it has anything to do with Timo. I think it has everything to do with the terrible gray filter and high contrast boost that
just the way the photo
Devils
was
not a good
taken.
picture.
on the photo. But he kind of looks like my dad in this picture.
No, you're totally right. I absolutely see it. It's like in the pose and the look.
The hair.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's weird.
Huh.
So
It does remind me of him.
I've seen
Interesting.
him wear this jacket before and it looks fine on him. But in this one, like the angle they took the photo, it looks like it's not properly fitted.
Yeah.
Maybe, and he doesn't look like he knew they were taking this picture. It's like, it's just not a great photo.
I agree.
The suit looks fine. So maybe worst photographed.
Yeah. Worst
fine.
dressed to the photographer.
Worst dressed to the photographer. Best dressed is my boy Alexander Holtz.
Yeah.
Honestly, best dressed just for doing something different, for not going with the black pea coat Patagonia zip combo. He the game against the Bruins showed up wearing a black and gray window pane plaid.
All these plaids. Is that real?
That's real.
Oh.
That is the term for it. This is not what I made up.
Okay.
It's called window pane plaid. It's the very wide, square box plaid pattern.
I love it.
I tried zooming in to see what brand it is because there is a mark on the wrist. I gave up pretty quickly. But yeah, it's a pea coat. It kind of has a double breast, but there's it overlaps, but there's only one set of buttons. I like it because it's just different.
Yeah.
It's cute. It has a pattern to it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels stylish.
Yeah, it's a little bit more stylish than your basic black pea coat.
It's nice.
But in this world, this season of gray and black wool jackets, there were a couple of teams that were able to find a way to stand out this week and last week. It's been a little bit since we recorded. The holidays messed things up. Let's talk about the outdoor classic of the Kraken versus Vegas. This past weekend, I think it was, they had their outdoor game, their stadium series, which meant that we got the stadium series outfits.
Yeah.
And this is making me so excited for the Devils outdoor game.
I know.
It better be good.
The Kraken showed up in bright red fisherman jumpsuits with little matching red hats that have buckles on them. I don't know if that's a thing for fishermen or what that is.
I have no idea.
But see, the best part about this is that they gave them little fish.
Yes.
And so there's this lovely photo of Tomasz Tatar with a tuna fish,
No.
a little plush tuna. It's adorable. This is a great outfit. The best thing about this too is as the Kraken were coming, they weren't the only ones who had these outfits. They also gave some of the staff these outfits. So then when the Kraken were coming, making their entrance onto the ice, they had staff on either sides of the walkway throwing the plush fish like they're at a fish market in between, like across and in between the players.
It's so fun.
Shout out to those staff members for not hitting any of the players on accident. I totally would have.
Yeah.
But as wonderful as these outfits are, I have to say, Vegas outdid them.
It's pretty good.
It's hilarious.
In a previous episode, I'm pretty sure I said that I wanted the Devils to bring like Elvis Presley energy, like
I think you did.
Elvis cape. Specifically, I think Holla could pull it off.
Yeah, you did.
And Vegas did it. Predictably, it's Vegas.
Sure.
They showed up in these full Elvis costumes, including the wigs.
It's the wig that just really pulls it all together.
Because like someone had to put these on them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure not all of them are that familiar with how to do that.
And the wigs are like decently like put on.
Yeah.
Like they're not falling off. They got the full sideburns. They got the sunglasses. They all committed to like the bare chest V-neck.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
The red scarf.
It's so funny.
Like, this is wonderful. Do you think they get to keep them afterwards? Like, I mean, what else would you do with them?
I don't know.
I hope so. I'm not sure. There's something about these photos that I just love. You could just tell they're all feeling it.
Yes.
Like, they love being Elvis.
Everyone is cheesing. Everyone is totally committed.
They should do this as much as they possibly can.
Yes.
Because it clearly puts the players in a better mood. Like, why can't we have this silly fun all the time instead of sad jackets?
Instead of sad jackets. I love this. This is incredible. It's making me really excited to see what the Devils show up wearing. Everyone obviously is rooting for like the Sopranos track suits and gold chains.
Would be good.
Ooh.
But I feel like after seeing these Elvis suits, I need something more. I don't know what. I need something shiny, something colorful.
Fully sequenced.
Yes. If they were like velour juicy couture tracksuits.
I also love when you said you wanted them to be the Jersey Shore cast.
I think that would be
next
hilarious.
level.
I agree.
That would be fantastic.
I would love that.
Someone show up with a Snooky pompadour.
All Snooky.
All Snooky.
It'd be so funny.
I want everyone to have like a fake orange tan. Every single one of them.
And they play the game like that too.
And then every time you fall on the ice, you'll just see like little orange streaks.
Orange. That'll be good though, because they're playing the Flyers.
Oh my gosh.
Just saying.
A new age of orange jersey edition. Some other fun shenanigans that happened over the holidays. So Marc-Andre Fleury, you know, we all know and love him.
I know him. I don't know if I love him.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I know him, but I don't know him. I just said.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So there was like some sort of in between, like, I don't know, there's some sort of like in-game interview where Brandon Duhaime, his teammate, kind of jokingly referred to Fleury as like 50 years old.
Oh, really?
Like jokingly making fun of his age.
Wait, his teammate?
Yeah.
Interesting. A little friendly beef?
A little friendly razzing with your teammate. Because Brandon Duhaime is 26.
What?
I don't know why I thought he would be younger than that if he's making fun of Fleury's age. Because I mean, Fleury's 39.
That doesn't feel that far away. To me, that's like 3 years.
Yeah, I feel like once you're over 22, you can't make fun of anyone's age. But in any case, yeah. So Brandon was teasing him a little bit.
That's so good.
And
I just read it.
In response, Fleury stole his clothing from the locker room.
Normal.
So Brandon Duhaime had to walk out in just his jacket and pants. And when asked about it, I guess Fleury said something like, I'm sure he'll find them somewhere.
What did he do with them, you think? Where did he put his clothes?
Do you think he wrapped them up and like gave them to him as Christmas presents?
I don't know.
But then it happened again at the next game.
Is that what this is?
Yeah. So you see
Oh.
this picture of Brendan Duhame wearing a more or less normal outfit, but like these big fuzzy white boots.
I thought those were on purpose.
I did too. I thought
So
this
he
was some
stole
weird
his
response.
shoes?
I think he stole his shoes.
Holy shit. I mean, this is a look.
This is incredible.
an
The look on his face, strolling along,
in
those big fluffy boots.
it's kind of incredible.
I love it.
I thought this was on purpose.
so funny.
Like that he went out in these big fluffy boots.
Like he's just committing to wearing the weirdest thing that he possibly can now.
Which
Yeah.
is what all of the players should do.
They should.
I think it's hysterical.
I think this is fun. A little bit of hijinks. I like a little bit of outfit hijinks.
Yeah.
So
That's why it's Shannon's dad's favorite segment.
outfit shout out to
hijinks.
you.
Yeah.
But let's
Mhm.
get into the games that happened over the holidays.
Yeah.
Sarah, what is our weekly update?
All right, y'all. So we've been in 6th for a good long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you guys to, I know you can see this, but don't look.
I'm not looking.
Take a guess.
I'm not looking.
What place we're in right now?
-3.
Correct.
I was going to say 7.
No, it's still 6th. It changed around a couple of times throughout these games, and it put us back in the wild card race.
Yay.
At one point, I don't know if we still are,
I'll check for you.
but we are once again back in 6th place.
Okay.
We are tied with the Capitals and the Penguins. We have 40 points, 19 wins, 14 losses, 2 overtime losses. And Allie, I don't know if you saw some of this like on Twitter, but people were kind of talking about how the system of points that they use, it's kind of less than ideal
Yes.
for all of these teams who are losing in overtime to be ahead of us in the standings.
Particularly the Islanders.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Islanders have been taking many overtime losses this season. So therefore they're getting that 1 point.
Every time.
Even though I think what their wins, their games played and wins are actually, they've had fewer wins like in regulation than the Devils.
Exactly.
But they have more points because of their overtime losses.
Exactly.
Whereas the Devils have been losing in regulation when they lose more often. They have
Yeah.
a couple overtime losses.
I don't know if you could see it. My mind is breaking. It's extremely upsetting.
You're doing some math.
Right.
Yeah, and
No
I
one likes to do that.
really don't. Well, I like math,
Yeah.
but I really don't like. I don't like that.
It's
Right.
it's a little wacky.
It
and
feels a little.
it's been a big conversation topic this past weekend because the PWHL obviously finally premiered
Right.
and released their rule book, and they are
Right.
following a 3-2-1 point system where you get 3 points for a win, 2 points for an overtime win, 1 point for an overtime loss. So getting the win, you still get
Yes.
a benefit.
more.
And if you win in regulation, you get the most points.
Yes.
That makes way more sense to
I
me.
think
Yeah.
it does.
It
Yeah.
healed my brain a little bit.
How's the rest of the division doing? The rest of the Metropolitan? Like, who do we have to start to tussle with to get back into that wild card position at least?
Definitely Capitals, I'd say.
Just take down everybody.
The ones that we really have to be in contention with at the moment, I would say, are the Capitals and the Islanders.
Okay.
Capitals are tied with us. Islanders have 43 points, but none of us are really touching where the Rangers are at right now, which is unfortunate.
I don't even want to read it out loud. I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
It's too many points
That's
for
a
them.
lot of points.
Another contender is Tampa Bay Lightning because the wild card race obviously includes the whole Eastern Conference. In the wild card positions are Islanders and Tampa Bay, then Washington, then New Jersey.
Okay.
Although admittedly, Tampa Bay has played the most games out of those teams I just listed. They've played,
That's true.
assuming ESPN is correct, 38 games.
Well, let's get into this round of games this holiday season. I think Sarah mentioned it earlier. This is the first time I think we have more wins than losses to talk about.
Yeah.
Starting with the Red Wings game. Somehow I watched this game, but I didn't take any notes on
Neither
this
did I.
game. So, Allie, can you tell us about this game?
Yeah, so this was the game right before Christmas, and it was a little bit while ago. So I can give you like the quick the quick everything you need to know. The Devils did well.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's a great thing for us.
From what I remember. And you know what? If they didn't, then I can just rewrite history
That's
right now
true.
and convince everyone that they did.
There are no facts on this podcast.
There's no facts on this podcast.
None.
You know, it didn't start off so great. Obviously, this is the Patrick Kane is now on the Red Wings, and he's officially back from his surgery and playing for them,
Mhm.
and took the first point. Which
Unfortunate.
of course the Red Wings were going to take the first point, but as not a Patrick Kane fan,
I
of
got
course
you.
he had to do it. Of
Yeah.
course it was him.
Of course.
It's just like extra salt in the wound for me watching. It was like a kind of a bad omen to start the game off because Patrick Kane didn't have to do anything particularly fancy to score the goal. It was one of those
Yikes.
moments where like the Devils kind of lost control of the puck. They were in the defensive zone and kind of like panicked or just didn't coordinate correctly. And you had 3 men covering the Red Wing defenseman who was carrying the puck in. And it was it's like one of those frustrating moments where you're sitting at home watching and it's so hard not to like Monday morning quarterback, but you see 3 Devils going after, like you can see that they see that the Red Wings have gained possession and they're like, oh, okay, we need to pummel, we need to like, what's the word? Like we need to crowd the person who has the puck, and they're not thinking about Patrick Kane right there, wide open in front of the net, ready
should
to
be-
receive that puck and shoot it.
Right.
You just don't need 3 defensemen on the defenseman carrying in the puck. You need
Right.
someone blocking and Patrick Kane.
You got to be looking at who's open. You got to block the person who's open.
Yeah, and sometimes I think, and I don't know if this is, I'm not a coach. I'm not gonna give that kind of analysis.
No.
But sometimes watching these games, especially when the Devils are struggling, you can see them being a little bit reactionary. And you can see them sometimes where they lose possession and you can see them get frustrated and go, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. And react by trying to, it almost seems like they're like perfectionists. They always want to do it right. And when they lose the puck, they're like, oh, I got to get it back. Instead of just being like, okay, we lost it. We have to shift into a completely different plan now of, blocking Patrick Kane or whoever it is who's going to
Honestly, that's
gain
a
the open lane.
great analysis of the vibes. I fully agree with you.
These are, yeah. I think, the analysis of the vibes that the Devils are kind of perfectionists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes
And they're just too hard on themselves and don't know
Yeah.
how to get over that part if
if you
they
made a mistake,
messed up.
you turned over the puck, it's okay. Now just like shift into the next mode. Shift your vibes.
I'm shifting in the car.
Oh.
I got to buckle.
Yeah.
You weren't buckled already?
So I am now.
Oh, dangerous.
But it was a bit of a concerning start. And of course, I'm sorry.
It was just because we buckled in so many times
We
during
did.
the holiday
We did.
We really
special.
did.
I thought it was so funny.
We were going on some roller coasters.
And you know what? You don't need to take my advice for it because we have Bryce Salvador pointing out that this is kind of a panic move. The Devils are so focused on where the puck is that they're not thinking about where it's going.
Yeah.
They're not anticipating.
And it made me worried about how the rest of the game was going to go. They had a couple of power play opportunities. And during the power play, they had good control, but just bad shots on goal. They weren't able to capitalize. So, I mean, in general, the points that they did score were during regulation.
Okay.
There was a pretty chaotic moment where a fight started.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had to guess who started this fight, like just pick a Devils player off the top of your head. Who do you think's starting a fight?
Brandon Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Ball.
Yeah. No. It was
No.
Jesper Pratt.
I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. I can't remember any.
I
Same.
can't like even imagine him getting
Yeah.
that.
That's not how he
Steady.
takes out his anger. You know,
Yeah.
takes it out on the net.
Shannon can tell us
Yeah.
more about this fight later. but-
Yes, I do have something funny to say about this.
Oh. I'm so intrigued. Oh, that seemed to kind of set the tone of just a little bit of tension between these two teams.
Yeah.
But you know what? The teams took it out on themselves as well. At one point for the Red Wings,
That's right.
this is an accident, but Fisher and Petrie collided and got hurt bad. This was like a hard hit. They were just not looking at each other. They collided pretty rough, and Fisher had to be escorted off the ice.
That's right.
And I don't know if maybe that changed the Red Wings' strategy a little bit. Afterwards, the Devils kind of kept up the pressure. At one point, another little like chaotic little scuffle for the Red Wings. Raymond like bowled Vanacek over, full speed ahead.
Oh, yeah.
And
What?
I'm pretty sure he took down Vitek and like the net came off.
Oh, yeah, it did.
So it was pretty quick speed. The only reason I'm commenting on this is because I have a strong opinion, not about this, but about people posting online. Bastian was standing right there when this happened. And from like the one angle, it kind of looked like maybe he accidentally collided with Raymond and like pushed Raymond into Vanacek. But then when you saw it from a side view, it was really obvious that Bastian didn't even touch Raymond. Obviously, this led to a penalty on the Red Wings. And I have like a personal vendetta. I have like a personal grudge to hold against all of the people commenting, claiming that Bastian pushed him into Vanacek. That did not happen. And I want to fist fight every single one of these people in the comments claiming that. I don't know why it got me so heated.
Because they're getting mad at Nate Bastian. He doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
No.
What did he do?
Not much.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was like a mixed game because the Devils obviously did win 3-2. And they had decent control. But at the same time, there were 4 power plays with no goal.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then just in time for them to take the lead, they took like a silly penalty on Plot, which stressed me out because there's nothing like the Devils in the third period taking a penalty to blow their own lead.
Yes.
And I'm like sitting here on my couch, like crossing my fingers and just please like dig deep. Don't lose this league. And don't lose this lead. And the Red Wings had this incredible chance on their power play. Just a beautiful shot. And the post saved the day. This was... Vitek could not take credit for this one. This
Ding, ding.
It was a ding ding moment. The post saved their lead. Ultimately, yeah, the Devils won this one 3-2 at the end. And my only criticism here is that at the end, the Red Wings pulled their goalie and Timo did not get a chance on the empty net because I previously did say this, but he had 2 of the 3 goals. Timo time was back. This was...
It was a Timo like week.
It was a Timo week.
There's a lot of Timo in here, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, we can get more into that. It was a Timo week. This was the return of Timo time, and I really wanted him to have his hat trick on the empty net.
Robbed.
He was robbed a little bit, so I was a little salty about that. But I guess I won't complain because they did win.
Fine.
Whatever.
So then we also won the next game.
Well, it was against the Blue Jackets.
We need every single point.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And Sarah did say once that we have to stop assuming we're going to win against teams that are bad.
Yeah.
And make sure we clinch every point
Yeah.
available to us. So you are right. It is against the Blue Jackets.
And the Devils went into this with the advantage that Columbus had to travel the day of because this was the first game after Christmas. So they couldn't come in, to New Jersey the day before and get all rest up. They had to travel the day of, whereas the Devils had their little Christmas break. They could go into this refreshed, shaken off the cobwebs, to quote Dano.
Yeah.
Still in the festive spirit.
Yeah. Something else about this game that I was excited about. It was the triumphant return of Damon Severson.
It was.
Yes. I almost weirdly forgot, but I was really happy they showed the video on the Jumbotron to honor him.
Yeah.
It made me
And
a
I
little
thought that
sad.
was-
It made me sad too.
It did. But I was really happy that there was a warm welcome for him and a break from all the fans,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
We like Severson.
Yeah.
And I was ready for him to take his designated former Devil goal.
Mm-hmm.
Vitek started in goal, but something that was different this game is that Nico Dawes was back up. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it.
We shall.
Yes.
So Sarah, tell me how this game started.
Well, the first thing that I wrote was similarly. How much you want to bet Severson's going to score? But then I wrote, but then, of course, in true Devils fashion, they lost the first point. And it was scored by some guy on the Blue Jackets whose name was Jake Bean.
It's a great name.
And the only thing I wrote about that is that Jake Bean is Jim Beam's son.
Yep. Seems right.
Yep.
I wrote all beans. Like all shucks, all beans. Do you want to know what my favorite goal is? Like my favorite type of goal?
Absolutely.
It's a revenge goal.
Ooh.
Whoa.
A revenge goal.
I'm
I like
putting
the
a
sound of
sound
that.
effect in there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Palat takes a penalty, sending the Devils to the power kill.
Ugh.
Then this is my favorite type of goal every single time. It's like inject it straight into my veins. Palat comes out of the penalty box, gains possession of the puck, just shoots straight for the net and scores off of a beautiful pass. It was a beautiful setup for him by Mercer and Holla. Just a lovely little moment. They put it right there for him to come out and score. I love it. It's so satisfying, and it's a great goal to score because the other team's power play is tired. Usually not all of them have gotten off the ice, if any of them have gotten off the ice. So you have like this tired power play unit out there, and then you just come right out of the box and score. It's beautiful.
It is.
I love it. It's the best way to score, I think.
Allie,
Yeah.
I need you to Photoshop something for me.
Oh.
Because when you said revenge goal, injected into my veins,
Ooh.
I want this to be a tagline for some energy drink.
Revenge goal.
With
The
Palat's
drink is
face
called
on it.
Revenge Goal.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, that's fun.
Sorry.
We got to see the lines. So I feel like the Devils played well this game. And I think part of that was because the lines worked. Especially we had the combination of Holtz-Plot and Hughes, which I loved that line.
Huh.
Then we had Meyer, McLeod, Mercer, this like triple M line.
Triple M.
Triple
Nice.
M.
Nice.
Also incredible.
I feel like this is a lot of good branding.
Yeah.
I need to write all this stuff down.
We had Curtis Lazar was out, so Brendan Smith
Aw.
was on Holla's wing.
Yes.
I love when Brendan Smith is on offense.
Yes.
I keep him, just make him a fourth line winger, leave him there. I love it.
I agree.
The one line that was maybe having a moment. So we had Brat and Jack together. PB and J. I love them together. But they make a lot of really pretty passes, and they wait until they have a really pretty lane to shoot.
Yeah.
And if they just weren't shooting, everyone, I feel like a big part of the reason why they did well, the rest of the lines were doing well this game, is they were really shooting. They were peppering the goal, and I'm like, keep doing that. The exception seemed to be PB and J, who like to make these passes
Interesting.
to each other, and these like long passes too.
Yeah.
And I feel like this maybe didn't work because something I noticed is that these long passes were consistently being broken up by what I call the Blue Jackets, quote, windmill strategy. For those of
love it.
you who are pretentious, you could also call this the Don Quixote strategy.
Oh.
If you played a string instrument, you know what I'm talking about. But this was just,
I now have 2 comments.
the Devils would make these long passes and the Jackets would just be in the middle with their sticks just windmilling, just back and forth, just hoping to make connection. And it worked. If the pass is long enough, you got enough people in between windmilling. Yeah, you kind of break it up. It kind of worked.
So I'm just thinking to myself, first off, Brat and Jack, their PB&J sandwich
Yeah.
is the perfect PB&J sandwich. If they were
Oh.
going to make the sandwich, where it's like the perfect amount of jelly and peanut butter, but they have to learn how to make a sloppy PB&J, when the
Yes.
jelly's like
Yeah.
squeezing out and your hands are all sticky,
Yes.
but it's still a good sandwich and it still works.
yeah.
Flavors are still there.
That was the first thing I had to say.
Yeah.
The second thing was there was a moment where Jack Hughes had his helmet off at the bench and he looked unhinged.
Yes.
What?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Just- that was the first word
Like
and
what-
the only word that came to mind. Just unhinged. I wish I had a screenshot
Like-
of it.
If he like leaning angry, sad, happy,
Deranged.
deranged.
Deranged. Like his
Yeah,
eyes were
it's
like
not
bugging
even
out.
angry.
They
It
were
was
going in
hairs,
different directions.
Ruffled.
Yeah. And for a moment there, it actually made me like him a little more.
Ooh.
Something about him just being unhinged.
I think he needs to lean into that.
Yeah.
It kind of, it made me like relate to this. It just felt almost like a mad scientist moment was the other thing I could compare it to. But I wonder if that's why the line was also maybe a little off, because something was going on.
He's strange. Honestly, I think the Jack Hughes girlies probably lost their minds over this, though, just because his hair was all messy and they probably they just ate it up, I'm sure.
I love that for them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with them. I liked it.
Is this the beginning of the Shannon Jack Hughes redemption?
It's starting. They're going to end up on that deserted island.
Oh,
Maybe.
Oh.
well, one thing that maybe made Jack feel a little unhinged. He was probably just like having a totally normal moment and his hair's messed up and he's like, great, I get caught on a camera looking a little funny for a second. Oh, I'm a mad scientist. He and Mercer both had like back-to-back incredible shots. Like these were beautiful, perfect shots that just didn't go in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, sometimes it's like the Devils are playing well. They're making great shots and there's just a magnet on the goal repelling every shot they make.
Yeah.
They were really getting goalied. Like Merzlikins was just goalieing the shit out of them. They were taking great chances and he was blocking them at every turn. Then Damon Severson decided, you know what? I want to be dead to Allie as well.
Yeah.
So Holtz was up close, kind of getting all up in Merzlikins' business. He just took like a kind of close shot on goal. And I don't even think he bumped into Merzlikins, but he got kind of close to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sivo took umbrage with it and decided to knock down Holtz.
Yeah. Like slammed him down on his back. It was him and two other guys too. And all three of them just pounced on him.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
I mean,
shattered my rose tinted glasses a little bit.
He's not like, he's like half dead to me.
Yeah.
Like he could come back. And as per usual, as soon as the Devils have like any chink in their armor, Lindy Ruff is like, take the lines, put them in a blender. And he took Holtz away from Nico's line. And I'm like,
Why?
Why?
What did Holtz do to you? Let my boy out of prison.
I don't know.
Put him on that line. He does fine. Why is it that like the Devils have a moment where they struggle and Lindy Ruff's like, you know what we need to do? Put Holtz in prison. This was something I couldn't tell from the broadcast, but from seeing tweets of people who were live at the game, apparently the Devils played poorly enough in the second period that they got booed off the ice as they were leaving.
Oh, wow.
At the end.
Ooh.
At home.
At home.
Yeesh.
You hate to see it.
That's terrifying, actually.
Yeah. And it sets, you gotta like.
It just mentally will put me in a bad place
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
And
I
it-
was playing.
You go into the third period. You came out strong.
Mhm.
You struggled in the second. You get booed off the ice. You come back out in the third period. And the first really significant thing that I commented on was, you know how I said that Nico Dawes and not Schmidt was the backup for this game?
Yes.
Yes.
We almost got to see a Dawes cameo when Vitek was
Oh.
like beamed in the chest with a puck going 92 miles an hour.
that was scary.
He immediately went down and it almost looked like he got hit in the throat.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it looks like it just kind of hit him in the upper chest. I don't know what happened. I think he must got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
Because he
I
like
believe that's
immediately
what he-
doubled over and was doing that like classic, the wind has been knocked out of me, like trying to like
Mhm.
gasp thing. And you just see Nico Dawes stand up.
Yep.
And I'm like,
I'm ready.
oh, are we going to get our Nico Dawes cameo, which I was very excited about. But no.
Not yet.
Not yet. Vitek gathered himself. He like the trainers that came rushing out.
Mhm.
He like gathered himself, waved them off.
Yeah.
And then you got to see what I always want to see Vitek do when he's rattled is instead of getting frazzled, you saw like the determination in his eyes.
Mhm.
He really came back from this and was like, third period, let's freaking go. And then immediately after that, I was like, okay, they're back in this. And then immediately after that, I wrote, JK, it's so over.
Yeah.
the Devils like were not completing their passes. Blue Jackets score. And so again take the lead. But then what happened?
I'll read it.
A hero came in to save the day at the last minute.
Superman.
Superman.
The Superman song's playing in my head.
Oh my God.
I want them to play that instead of the Star Wars song now.
Well, tell me what happened. Why'd they play the Star Wars song?
Because Luke Hughes goes coast to coast and ties it.
Woohoo. Unassisted.
It was beautiful.
It was awesome. Like, literally, just Superman his way through everything.
Yeah.
You're just like, up, dot. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just great.
Yeah. Dodged through traffic.
Mm-hmm. No one could stop him.
He was a hero.
Literally.
Superman.
Luke Hughes is the best Hughes brother.
Yeah. I think so. We're saying this right as Shannon is finally starting to maybe like Jack Hughes.
I know.
So Luke saved the day and was able to send them to overtime.
And it gets even better.
What? Yeah, tell me about this, Shannon.
Because I had some really, really good quality, as you would say, Timo time.
Some Timo overtime.
Yeah.
Some good quality Timo overtime. So this was so cool because, again, he had his own Superman moment, but it like we expect this of Timo, I guess, is a little different. But he just overpowered the goalie when he made his shot because how hard he hit the puck in and then it slowly came out behind the goalie. Like it was all that force. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm no longer stressed.
Yeah.
We won.
Yeah. So that was an exciting win. But I still felt a little sad, I have to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the Blue Jackets. They're in our own division.
Yeah.
And it's like, you
Gotta
really
take every point.
You really need 2 points.
Yeah.
It is kind of frustrating to see them not like just come out and so confidently when they had like all the time to rest and they had like the control early on to not just kind of like walk away with this one.
Yeah. Well, the next one, I would say we confidently walked away.
Yeah.
So the next game was against the Senators. And I'm just going to start this off. Somehow we give up the first point, but we're winning.
I think the Devils have to give up the first point.
It's kind of inevitable. Yeah.
And then we had 2 power play goals to immediately follow this. I'm like, who are we? As Bill said, the Devils are rolling. It was great.
Huh?
So something that I feel is important to note about this game is that who was in net?
Yes. Because this was the first game since a certain player was recalled down to Utica.
Oh, yeah. So Schmidt is down at Utica.
Mm-hmm.
Which means
We got Nico Dawes.
Mhm.
I was so freaking excited for this. I have been like waiting all season for this.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to see how he did. And he freaking crushed it.
You did, honestly.
He did so well.
You did.
And then, whatever, let up the first point, but who cares? Who
Nah.
cares? Who cares? You
Usual.
have to do that for the Devils to win. It's like, it's their trap card. Like you were saying, they went to the power play. Jesper Bratt takes the lead with a late period power play goal. The Devils took the late period goal. They didn't give it up.
Oh.
I feel like they always give up the late period goal. Instead, they took it this time.
Yeah.
I love that. It made my heart happy. And I think part of the reason why, after the Blue Jackets game, there was a practice that the Devils had. I can't remember who, but one of the reporters tweeted that, I think it must have been Amanda Stein, I don't know, tweeted that Lindy Ruff was apparently yelling at Jack and Bratt's line to, quote, shoot the fucking puck. So my main commentary in this game is that Jack and Bratt shot the fucking puck.
Nice. Good for them.
And it paid
All
off.
right.
The line they were on, it was Toffoli, Bratt, and Hughes, and they were cooking. They were cooking up some stuff.
New stuff.
Points.
Okay. I was thinking like cooking the PB&J.
Yeah, they're cooking the different kinds of PB&Js. What kind of PB&J also has Tyler Toffoli on it? What's his ingredient?
A Girl Scout cookie PB&J.
Oh, that's true.
I was thinking like truffles,
Mmm.
Oh, like the
Like a-
mushrooms?
like a truffle oil.
Mmm.
Where are you putting the oil?
Excellent.
When you
Like your-
toast the bread
Yeah.
before you put the Swiss cheese on.
I never want Shannon to make me a peanut butter and jelly.
You were talking about how they were, practicing just shooting the puck. I
Mhm.
think what we also might need to practice is apparently getting on and off of the ice, because I swear to God, every episode now, I have to say, too many men on the ice is the dumbest penalty, because it always happens to them. What's going
Why do
on?
you keep doing this?
I don't know.
Listen, the Devils players are poets. They are not mathematicians. Counting is hard.
You're not wrong.
I don't think any of them went to math class.
We did great in this game, but the one thing I really want to talk about is who scored the 5th goal.
Well, speaking of penalties,
Okay.
and speaking of revenge goals,
Yeah.
my favorite kind of goal. Brendan Smith did what Brendan Smith gonna do and took a penalty. He's in the box.
Yeah.
He's comfortable there. He's been there before.
He has.
He's taken a tour. He sets up residency. They probably leave a pillow in there with his name on it. But this time, Brendan Smith comes out of the box. Nico passes to him. And to
Mhm.
quote Brendan Smith, he kind of just blacked out. One-on-one against the goalie.
Yep.
He fakes right, he shoots left, and takes his first ever goal with the Devils. When I tell you, I was screaming.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so happy. I cannot believe that was his first one, but I'm so happy that it happened.
Best possible way for him to take a goal, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right out
With
of the
some
box.
revenge goal.
Brandon Smith out of the box into the net. I love it.
It's incredible. It's perfect. He should do. If this is what he's going to do out of the box, he can take a penalty every period.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the rest of his career.
I agree.
Though that's so interesting. I didn't know that he said he kind of just like blacked out.
Maybe he should try blacking out more often, because
Yeah, that's
his
what I'm
muscle memory
thinking.
really pulled through.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then people tried to steal this moment from our boy Brendan Smith, because a couple minutes later,
Who would dare?
haters, Shannon, the haters would dare. Shortly after this, the Senators took their second goal of the night. That's all they got was 2. And Brendan Smith was kind of like up at the goalie, screening. And the shot kind of like bounced off him into net. And everyone was like, Brendan Smith, 2 goals tonight. 1 for the Devils, 1 for the Senators.
That could have been anyone.
He's just standing there doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And the puck bounced off of him. Stop being a hater.
Really?
Stop taking his moment from him.
Yeah.
He, afterwards, when they interviewed him, was so freaking happy. And I love just seeing people happy. He was absolutely cheesing, like smiling ear to ear, so freaking excited. It warmed my little heart.
Mm-hmm.
Also, other things, Chris Tierney took his first point as a Devil.
Oh.
The Devils were just scoring left and right. Everyone got a chance to take a point that night. It was a good game. The Devils were in control the whole time, and they earned back their wild card spot
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
after this
I'm like-
game.
Holding my breath.
It was, you know what? And the roller coaster was at the top. We were on a high. We were like, we're going to go into the new year in a wild
On
card
high.
spot, feeling great,
Mhm.
feeling strong, bringing this energy right into the next game. It's another back-to-back for the Devils. It's not easy. We know this for them.
Yeah.
We also used Nico Dawes in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Did great, solid. And last comment I'll say about him is he looked very steady the whole game. Did not get frazzled when the couple goals went in.
Yes.
Which is exactly what the Devils need. But we're coming off this high. We go into the Bruins game.
Yeah.
We got to use VTech now. Give Dawes a break. It's the last game of the year. This is how the Devils are going to end their monumental 2023, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I had a lot of hope in the beginning of this game. It's very hopeful.
It started off really well. Devils were on the power play. 5 seconds in, Tyler Toffoli passes it to Nico, immediately gets it in the goal.
Yeah.
And then Nico did the cutest little, like, he covered his mouth with his hand and then points right back at Tyler Toffoli, like, you helped me with that.
Do you think he blacked out in the same way Brendan Smith blacked out when he
Maybe
passed
a little
to him?
bit, yeah. Like, he seemed like so shocked, like, oh, that worked, wow. And
So they took the early lead.
they did.
And they maintained it during the first period.
They did. We ended up 2-0 at the end of the first.
Vitek made some good saves.
There was like a solid 2 minutes of everybody was crowding around him, constant shots on goal, and he saved every single one of them. It was fantastic to watch. It was only a matter of time, though, in the second period, when Boston did eventually score. But like you said, I still had hope. And then things started crashing down around us.
No.
And Boston took 3 goals in 10 minutes, which I think they then went back and retracted that statement. It was actually like 3 goals in 5 minutes.
No.
Yeah. It was too good to be true.
I don't understand this breakdown where the Devils either succeed or they crash and burn.
Yeah.
And I wonder what's happening in the second period, because it's kind of what happened with the Blue Jackets, where they came out strong in the first period.
Mm-hmm.
Second period crashed and burned. But they're like a third period team. So you're like, okay, third period.
Kind of recover in that sometimes. Not this one, unfortunately. And I think I jinxed it by texting you guys. I remember sending to you guys, like, I don't want to jinx it, but this game is going really well.
I had the same exact thought.
And then all of a sudden, the Bruins were up by 4.
Oof.
And then I had a little bit of a heart attack because, the Devils Prudential Center app that for some reason I have, I'm not sure. It decided to give me a notification that said that it was 2-5. Then I got a notification that was 2-3 and then 2-4. So I don't know if they were just like feeling silly and just deciding to throw out an extra goal for Boston because they needed it, I guess. But they were right because it did end up being 2-5 in the end.
Oh my God.
And I just turned the game off because it was painful.
Yeah, I think that's like that was the general mood. I think a lot of people just turned this game off. I don't even know what to say about it. It was just kind of a breakdown.
It just kind of got sad.
I will say I am happy, though. It was not a 6-3 loss.
I agree.
That felt like an improvement.
I think I would have just killed myself if they'd ended the year on another 6-3 loss. I would have just died.
God. This was Timo's 500th NHL game, and he got hurt. He didn't come out for the third period.
That's right. Yeah, he didn't.
Wait, what?
Timo is hurt.
Timo is hurt, and he's actually not going to the next game.
Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you this way,
can't
Shannon.
see him like freaking out. I know. I didn't know this.
And and it's I'm
so off line.
Well, it's like I'm wondering, did he take a new injury or is it just an exacerbation of his previous injury that he's still healing from?
I'm not sure because apparently Lindy Ruff described it as a medium body injury.
Medium?
Not an upper, not a lower, not a mid, medium.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's how people describe wines and stuff.
What is your
not
medium
injuries.
body?
I don't know.
Which part of the body is medium?
Medium.
I'm going to add Lindy Ruff to the Don't Worry About It segment.
I think this is just another example of the Devils having a breakdown and having a complete, utter nuclear meltdown.
Yeah.
The Bruins didn't just take back the lead. They scored 4 goals on 11 shots.
Wow.
Which,
whoa,
again, kind of suggests a goalie problem. 4 out of 11.
Yeah. I was looking up
it's disappointing.
Save percentage for VTech.
Oh,
in particular. Last season, it was .911.
Okay.
That's pretty
overall,
great.
Yeah.
So that's like even after late in the season when he started struggling a little bit.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Currently, it's .884. Well, it was when I wrote this down. And I think he is, unfortunately, last in the league.
What
in terms
is
of save
happening?
percentage.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's feels drastic.
It hurts my heart
Yeah.
because he's a great person.
It almost makes you feel like, what do you do when your hands are tied in this situation? Because Schmidt was struggling too, and when they sent him out to Utica, he didn't have a great night.
No.
For Utica either.
Yeah.
So I don't know what has both of them rattled.
That was our last game of 2023.
It was nice. We got to talk about more wins than losses
Yeah,
this
We
week.
did.
3 out of 4 of them were wins.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on over to the Skrkoffalo Award. Because this is where we give Academy Awards to the most cinematic fights of the week. So at first, I have to say, at first I said, I don't have any awards to give this week. And we had some skirmishes, but not like any full out brawls from my recollection. So originally, I wanted to talk about just a quick comment on who I would like to see win a fight.
Interesting.
Who I would like to see just go out, full brawl, anger, and win.
Mm-hmm.
And I kid you not, Allie, I wrote down PB&J that I would love to see Brat or Jack Hughes have this brawl moment.
Well, your
not
wish
fighting
came
each
true.
other.
No, not each other.
Oh.
No.
I mean, that'd be wild, but
Maybe
No.
fighting together.
okay. Yeah.
I just wanted to see them
Side by side.
like
Yeah.
like maybe if Jack Hughes used a little bit of that
I'm kidding.
unhinged energy and
Yeah.
just took somebody out.
yeah.
But then you corrected me when we were going over the outline,
yeah.
and then I had completely missed this fight. But Brat did have a full out brawl moment, anger, and just it was unleashed
Mhm.
onto, how do you pronounce, Ben Chariot?
Chariot. I like how you spelled this.
Yeah.
Chayort.
Whoops. So Brat fought Ben Chariot in retaliation. So it was like Brat fell or Ben.
No. Ben Chariot bowled
He
Brat
slammed
over.
right into him.
Oh.
Skates went up over his head.
Dangerously close to his head.
It was not a safe hit. It was uncool.
I don't know if it was necessarily intentional
No,
on,
right.
on Chariot's
But
behalf.
little clumsy, maybe.
Unpleasant.
Yeah.
And Brat immediately retaliated, flipped out.
They were still on the ground.
Yeah, and the play was still happening.
Was it? I didn't even notice
it
that.
was. It was down
It
the other
was.
end.
It was down the other end,
Yeah.
and the whistle blew because the fight was happening.
Oh my God.
And Brat just jumped on top of Ben Chariot.
that little fuse in his head that's been like hundreds and hundreds of NHL games without a fight, it just snapped.
Finally.
And he jumped on him. And I remember you messaging us, Sarah. You're like, Jesper Bratt is choking him out. He's choking out a player. I was like, I can't believe this. And he got a couple of hits in.
Chaos.
And I was like, all right.
He was understandably pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Skrkoffalo Award.
And you could tell that he was like not happy because
No,
sometimes,
he
like
was so
when Eric
angry.
Holla, when Nate Bastion, when Brendan Smith get into a fight, they all have like that little shit-eating grin where they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. They enjoy it.
causing a little drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Brat was not happy.
No, he was pissed.
Yeah.
And Jesper Bratt, I never thought I was going to say this, but
Yeah.
you get the Skrkoffalo Award this week.
Wow.
Good for him.
It is a week of firsts.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is like, oh my gosh, not like an Oscar per se. Not like,
Ooh.
this is up there. This is like not the main categories at the Oscar, but like maybe best music.
Okay.
For me.
Oh.
There was just something about this. It was so raw, unexpected.
Yeah.
It's really up there.
It's like that scene that I was telling you about before. It's like
oh
that.
my gosh.
It is literally.
Yes.
It's
that
like
scene.
that scene in A Christmas Story where Ralphie loses his mind and beats up Scott Furcus.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
So this gets like a minor Oscar
Wow.
mention for
Nice.
me.
Wow.
Nice.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I think the
Congrats.
best part was they replayed it at like 3 different angles and I could see everything.
The cameraman was as shocked as we were.
Yeah. Okay, Allie. What are the whispers on the Twitter wins this week?
It was like 2 weeks because we had the holidays. So there were a lot of delay, not delay. There was a lot of time off.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I could have collected. But there, you know what? I'm going to give you a couple of clips. Connor Bedard scored a Michigan goal.
That he did.
I just like it. It was very clean. It was very crisp.
Didn't
Trevor Zegras did as well.
He did like, right after that.
Yeah, he did. And his was fun because I guess like in a pregame interview, one of the like reporters or something joked or was like, "You should score a Michigan goal."
Oh.
And then he was like, "I'll try," and he did.
That's funny.
Can I ask for clarification?
Yes.
Is Michigan goal a type of goal or
Yes.
against Michigan?
No. So a Michigan goal is a lacrosse
There's
goal.
no Michigan team.
I thought so.
Oh wait, that's a lie.
Detroit Red Wings.
Yep.
Oh, never mind.
That's a lie. Detroit's a different state. What are you talking about?
Can you describe to me what a Michigan goal is?
Yes. It's like think of it like a flapjack.
Okay.
So and the stick is your spatula.
Okay.
So like you kind of wrap around the net. You're coming around as if you're going to do a wraparound, but instead of just like trying to sneak it in net,
Yeah.
you flip the puck up like a pancake and flip it like up over the goalie's shoulder into the net.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lacrosse is life.
Look, it's called. I didn't play lacrosse. You played lacrosse.
I did.
I assume this is like a thing in lacrosse that it's called a lacrosse goal. Maybe it's just because
I don't know.
in
I
lacrosse,
have no idea.
maybe it's because in lacrosse, like you're cradling the ball and then you throw over
Right.
shoulders.
Right. Thank you for explaining that to me, Allie.
I live to serve. Other fun little things on Twitter. Nico Dawes, they confirmed that he did pick up his puppy and named him Cooper.
Nice.
Okay, real quick. So I overheard them say the puppy's name during the broadcast.
Uh-huh.
I didn't hear Cooper.
What did you hear?
I heard Kubrick's.
Like
the
Stanley Kubrick?
Like the director.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stanley
Yeah.
Kubrick.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought he named his puppy.
Interesting.
Huh.
And I was like, interesting.
I'm
I
not
feel
mad
like
about
that's
that.
a hard name to be like, Kubrick's, come here, Kubrick.
Multiple of them too.
Yeah, more than. Ugh.
No thanks.
How many Stanley Kubricks do you want?
I don't want that many.
I like Cooper better.
Okay.
So I'm happy that it wasn't Kubrick.
Yeah. He makes barrels.
I'm happy you got his puppy.
Yeah.
I will say, because people had said that they want a Nico pause every time they say his name in the broadcast, I say Nico pause
Yeah.
in my head.
Yeah.
I can't unassociate it.
Other fun little bit of news. The new year has passed. Do you know what that means?
Couple things.
Many things.
The PWHL had its first inaugural game. It was New York versus Toronto.
Woo.
And I think the PWHL has a good script
Yeah.
Okay.
because Toronto lost.
Not because New York won.
Not because New York won,
Got it.
but because Toronto lost.
Okay.
Okay.
And I feel like that's just a classic setup. If you're going to start a hockey league, you got to make sure you set the hopes of Toronto fans really, really high.
Yeah.
Because Toronto
Mhm.
played well. You got to set their hopes up really high just to dash them.
Yeah. Completely dashed them. They had no hopes. It was like a 4-0 game, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, New York did in fact crush it. Okay, so they showed like Sarah, you sent this to me,
Mhm.
New York's goalie setup, and they have the Statue of Liberty on her gear.
Mhm.
And I am once again petitioning
Oh.
the PWHL to let their teams pick real names because the New York Lady Liberties would slay.
It would. It'd be so good.
It'd be awesome.
Such a good name.
I have to imagine that they're leading up to that. Like
Yes.
they're going to, right?
Yes.
They gotta.
They have
And-
to.
It's too obvious.
I didn't
Yeah.
like the team color before, but if they were the Lady Liberties, that like teal, coppery blue
Yeah.
color would be perfect
It
because
works.
it's the color of the Statue of
Yeah.
Liberty.
I feel like it's planned.
It must
It
be.
That's what I'm
has to
saying.
be.
It's
all
they're
coming
leading up to
together.
it.
It's all
Gotta
coming
be.
together.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I'm not worrying about it.
You know, Shannon, I'm noticing looking at this script that our next segment's a little bit bare.
Yes. So we're not going to worry about it too much because this is a segment where we don't worry about it because sometimes I'm saying random shit and the announcers do it too.
Yeah.
This week was a little tough for me because I did a lot of multitasking, like wrapping gifts,
Editing our filmed episode.
baking,
Throwing
while
up,
watching the game.
hosting a huge party.
Yeah.
Really not going to worry about that. So I wasn't listening as closely as I normally would for this segment, but we do have a few things here to mention. So thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
First, we have Dawson.
Yeah,
What?
sorry. Nope.
Oh. Ow, I didn't spell that.
No, I know. That's what I was about to say. He didn't actually say Dawson. That was me who said that. Anyway.
So we got Dawson Mercer scores a filthy goal.
I like that one.
Filthy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it. But in the
Yeah.
same sentence, he also then did say,
Oh, this was all one thing.
that wasn't the direct quote, but it was two things that he said about him in the same sentence.
And he also said he's a youngster.
This was Dano.
So, I don't get it.
I don't know what point he was making, but those are the only two things that I heard. It was the goal was filthy and something about how he's a youngster. Not a clue. It's
But
Dano.
he is. He's
Does
like-
it make
he-
any sense ever?
No, it does make sense. He's 22 or like something.
Well, yeah, but what does that have to do with the filthy goal?
Right. Like, is he saying it's a filthy goal because he's a youngster?
No, because it was like it wasn't like
Way
a,
to go,
a clean
that
goal. It was like
youngster
like a clever one.
Scoring a filthy goal. I don't know. I don't think I am doing it justice because I didn't get the full quote here, but
I guess I like a dirty goal better because then I feel like, oh, it just like made it in even though it wasn't planned.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, but something about filthy feels filthy.
Yeah.
That's the point.
all the accounts were posting after like, Dawson, wash your hands. You're filthy. It was
Yeah.
gross. I didn't like it.
So next we got Stuck It Right In
You can tell that we were like
by Bill.
running out. We didn't have any ideas because this one is really just on us.
It's just the
Yeah.
out of context that just because there was he didn't say a player's name, he didn't describe the play. It was just this
Yeah.
as a comment to the goal.
Yep.
And you're like,
All right.
if I wasn't watching the broadcast.
I'm not worrying about it.
And the last thing we got here, this is more of like, I'll just say it first. It was Timo Meyer is off to the races. He shoots and he scores. Woo!
I love metaphors. I think this is so cute.
Yeah.
I love this because Allie commented it earlier. Timo is no longer a bull. He's a horse.
The commenters are obsessed with comparing him to some sort of livestock.
Yeah.
They really are.
It's a common theme.
But we'll have more next week. But we're not going to worry about it.
Nope.
So let's get into our It Boy of the Week.
I am so freaking excited. I love this segment.
I'm conflicted because I have multiple nominations
Oh.
and I
Okay.
just have to, I'm sticking to it.
Whatever. I have one nomination. Are you ready?
Yep.
I think we all know.
Brendan Smith.
It has to be Brendan Smith. I do have someone I would like to shout out, but it has to be
Let me make my argument.
Brendan Smith.
Okay.
His smile made my heart warm.
He's smile.
His smile. He looked so happy. And it makes me happy when people are happy. And he scored a beautiful goal. He scored a revenge goal.
I know I'm not going to win it this week, but I did want to put out my nomination anyway because I did think Brendan Smith, but the second person that I wanted to nominate
Yeah.
was Timo. I just got so many goals, so much Timo time.
There's a lot of Timo time.
Even though
Yeah.
he's injured, it was just so great to see him play
Yeah.
at like full capacity again. But I agree with you. It's too obvious. It's Brendan Smith this week.
Brendan Smith, It Boy of the Week.
Brendan Smith, It Boy of the Week for
Hell
sure.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
And you know how Shannon was talking about energy drinks earlier, injected into my veins?
Yes.
So I think if Brendan Smith was an energy drink, he'd be a Celsius.
Oh.
See, I think Brendan Smith would be like a classic Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Jack
I
Hughes
thought
has Celsius energy.
Okay.
Timo would be the Red Bull
Yes.
because he's a bull.
Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's true.
And
Yeah.
Jack Hughes is Monster for me.
I have never had a Celsius.
Nico is Monster.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't expect so much
Nico
conflicting
is
on the.
he's too kind.
I feel like he's more like a Gatorade. It's not a power. It's not an energy drink.
I will preface this by saying I have never had a Celsius before. I do not know what they taste like.
It is like jet fuel.
Oh.
It is Celsius. You know what? Actually, I take it back. You're right. Brendan Smith would be a Celsius.
Okay.
Jack would be one of those Panera
Oh my
charged
God.
lemonades.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick,
This is
I
good.
want to pose to you guys
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
super quick
surprise question.
because it's the new year.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you think the New Jersey Devils' New Year's resolution is?
Oh.
Like the
the team
team's
or the individual
resolution?
players?
I would say
or the
team
devil, the guy.
Or the
or
guy. Yeah.
an individual player. Anything
Huh.
because I my obvious one was, man, I wonder if anyone on the team made the New Year's resolution to win more.
I think that's
I think
always
all
every
of them
player's
probably
resolution. I don't think there's anyone out there who's like, you know what, we should actually lose
We're
more.
fine. Yeah. We've won enough.
I was just curious, just thinking.
The resolution is wearing more fun outfits
Yes.
for Allie.
Yes. I think that's good.
I think right now they are definitely 100% like, you know, we gotta give them more fun outfits to talk about.
Mhm.
In this 100%, imagine.
Where they listen to our podcast. Yeah.
I like that resolution.
I gotta sing you a song.
Oh, shoot.
Oh my gosh.
I
love this song.
what song are we talking about?
Better Than Revenge.
Okay.
Let me give you the Brendan Smith part of the song for you.
Yes.
Okay.
She should keep in mind, there is nothing I do better than revenge. Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening this week. This is Hot Girls Hockey. Tune in next week for more sugar.
Spice.
And everything ice.
If you like our show, please leave us a rating, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and tweet at us at hotgirlshockey_. Also, feel free to follow our YouTube channel for when we post future videos.
I've been cooking some ideas.
Oh.
Just cooking.